We welcome you to OGTV News. I am Mojisola Shulaja. Our top stories. Governor Dapo Abiodun approves 3 years outstanding promotion for workers. Lagos State Judicial Panel grants 20 million naira compensation to victims of police brutality. Federation Accounts Allocation Committee shares 640.31 billion naira to 3 tiers of government for January 2021. Myanmar anti-coup demonstration records first major fatality as a victim dies from gunshot to the head. Dignity of labor has to be our national duty. It has to be a part of our nature.
And on sports tonight, Martins Sabalenka win Australian Open Women's Doubles title. This and many more stories coming your way on the sports segment of the news. I am Emmanuel Dasaulu.
Once again, welcome to OGTV News. Ogun State Governor Prince Dapo Abiodun has approved the conduct of the promotion exercises for year 2018, 2019 and 2020 for public and civil servants in the state. In a statement, the Permanent Secretary, Civil Service Commission, Mr. Kolawole Ogunlano, requests ministries, departments and agencies to reconfirm the list of eligible officers earlier submitted to the Commission. Ogunlano said, due to the prevailing circumstance of the COVID-19 pandemic, the governor has waived the promotion written examination across all cadres and grade levels in the state public and civil service. He enjoined all ministries, departments and agencies to prepare promotion oral interview briefs in accordance with the usual format and submit to the appropriate agencies on or before 1st March 2021, calling on all eligible candidates to purchase Ogun State Public Service Regulation 1978 from room A261 in the Civil Service Commission at a sum of 2,000 naira each. In its efforts towards ensuring revitalization and development of education system to international standard, Ogun State government has said that it is ready to upgrade facilities in schools through the provision of new tables and chairs, whiteboard, modern toilets, classrooms, amongst others. The Commissioner for Education, Science and Technology, Professor Abayomi Arigbabu, who said this during his working visit to a school with special needs and Ansarudin High School in Ijebu-Ode, noted that the upgrade will create good and conducive learning environment, thereby resulting into standard attainment. Professor Arigbabu also charged school management and staff to always show more dedication to their duties, saying the present administration is really strategizing on packages that will make their works more interesting and convenient.
Want a situation whereby our schools should meet up standards set by His Excellency, because he declared emergency in education and he has been doing so much, and we feel that there is need for us to make sure that our schools are actually up to that standard. Facilities in the schools need massive upgrades, and we've been working on all this. That's why I'm here today. This is a special school where we have special needs children here, and I think there is need to take good care of them.
The principal of Ansarudin High School, Senior, Mr. Kamaruddin Alaga, while taking the commission around the facilities provided by some philanthropists, commended the Prince Dapo Abiodun-led government for its laudable achievement in the education sector. Ogun State House of Assembly has sounded a note of warning to all heads of ministries, departments and agencies, including associations in the state, to operate strictly within the ambit of the laws establishing them. The Speaker, Right Honorable Olakunle Olomo, in an interview with OGTV News, spoke on how the 9th Assembly has been committed to protecting excellent laws and principles of transparency. Kolawole Osho reports.
Democratic practices meant to deliver the good governance to the populace, which can only be deeply rooted when all players, especially government organs, including head of ministries, departments and agencies, MDAs, comply with relevant laws guiding their operations. This truism is the guiding principle of the current 9th legislative session of the Ogun State House of Assembly, led by the Speaker, Right Honorable Olakunle Oluomo.
By the power conferred on the House by Section 128(1)(b)(1) of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the House has the responsibility to make sure that ministry, department and agencies of government comply with the law that established them. No agency should go outside the law in performing any function.
Records available, especially on issues raised during the ongoing consideration of audit queries by the House Committee on Public Accounts and Anti-Corruption in respect of some agencies and their failure to respond promptly to such had as a result drawn the attention of the Assembly. Expectedly, the hallowed chamber has thus risen to the occasion with a stern warning to all MDAs that it would not be business as usual given the myriads of infractions committed by some former heads of agencies, as outlined in the audit queries issued them by the Office of the Auditor General.
We have sent out correct signals that it is no more going to be business as usual. Appropriate penalties and punitive measures will be taken against any officials who must have violated in one way or the other the financial regulations and IPSAS, International Public Sector Accounting Standards.
Honorable Musefiu Lamidi highlighted some of the infractions to include non-compliance with operational guidelines and other extant laws, violation of internal public sector accounting standards.
The major ones I would like to talk about is the violation of Appropriation Act, spending beyond approved budgets, and they have not been complying with fixed asset registers.
Honorable Lamidi equally mentioned that some government establishments, like the State Property and Investment Corporation, committed multiple infractions which earned its audit queries ranging from poor documentation, sales of government land at a price lower than the cost price, just as funds expended on Metro's residencies, Abeokuta, were not appropriated in line with the best budgeting practices, which made the State Assembly, through its Committee on Public Accounts and Anti-Corruption, sought for the submission of documents in support of all cost lines and revenue on the properties between January 2015 and February 2020. Apart from OPIC, some of other agencies that appeared before the Committee on Public Accounts and Anti-Corruption included those in health, agriculture, lands and housing, as well as education and academic institutions. The need to ensure that the mistake of the past is not repeated came to fore recently as the House had to intervene on an issue bordering on likely breach of public peace in the state parks and garages, as it queried the alleged involvement of the chairman and general manager of the agency, Pagada, Honorable Abib Ajayi, and Mr. Sheson Ashenuga, respectively, on the inauguration of the Riders and Owners of Tricycle Organization, a purported third tricycle union in the state by the agency.
A Park and Garage Development Agency does not have the power in law to interfere in the creation, establishment, management or function of any transport union. With the creation of Ministry of Transport, that is the purview of that ministry.
Speaker Oluomo, however, reminded that the then Pagadeb and Transport Committee were empowered by law and terms of reference to see to transport union matters, but with advent of Ministry of Transportation and change in nomenclature of Pagadeb to Pagada, with a new bill transmitted to the House by the governor and subsequently passed by the House and assented to by the governor.
The Board of Directors of Ogun State Television has been commended for its efforts at ensuring that the dreams and aspirations of one of the best television stations in Nigeria are kept and nurtured. Commissioner for Information and Strategy in Ogun State, Alhaji Wahid Odushile, gave the commendation while hosting board members led by its chairman, Comrade Tunde Olatunjoye, who were on a courtesy visit to his office. Bumi Adigun reports.
They are members of board of the Ogun State Television, saddled with the responsibility of steering the ship of the organization towards a sustainable future. One of their roles has taken them to the office of the Commissioner for Information and Strategy after rising from their first statutory meeting in the year.
We also want to acknowledge his decision, his acceptance to receive us within a short notice. We thank you, sir. Going further, Mr. Commissioner, we have come to thank you, and we have also come with one or two requests. Because when you support us more, you also expect more from the organization.
They appreciated the governor through the commissioner for the support given to the corporation so far, including the provision of a brand new boss to the organization.
We want to express our appreciation to the governor of the state, Prince Dapo Abiodun, MFR. And of course, the starting point is the Commissioner for Information. Our humble commissioner, sir. We want to appreciate it, we want to appreciate you, we want to put on record your appreciation for considering it necessary for you to have given us a boss, brand new boss. That is very, very useful. Though we ask for more, but then we want to appreciate this particular gesture.
Commissioner for Information and Strategy, Mr. Wahid Odushile, in his response, lauded the board, management and staff of OGTV, as he said they are not doing badly, but need to improve more.
You haven't done badly, and your best. But we want to put the extra effort so that, because this government, I can assure you, has very, very high, good plans for OGTV. I've said it before, and I'm repeating it again. We want to take OGTV to that height to compete with the best in the industry.
The meeting thereafter went behind closed door. Bumi Adigun, OGTV News.
Nigeria's foreign policy over the years has been grossly sabotaged and undermined by image crisis, both nationally and internationally. Resolution of the distortions embedded in the country's foreign policy is the only panacea to resolving an image crisis. In this special report, Bumi Adigun takes a look at what government and the citizens can do to address Nigeria's negative image in the international scene. His report.
After 60 years of independence, Nigeria has failed to establish significant political leverage on the global scene. Nigeria is the most populous black nation in the world, with a population of close to 200 million people, with a GDP of $376 billion. It is also the largest economy in Africa. Yet, Nigeria ranks 89th in the passport power rankings, behind countries such as Liberia and Benin Republic. The country's image at the international scene is nothing to write home about, as Nigerians are being addressed and dealt with based on the many challenges facing the country. Shola Babalola is the director of the National Orientation Agency, the body saddled with the responsibility of promoting patriotism, national unity, and development of Nigerian society. He said the social agency system, the home, the school, and the church have all failed in their responsibilities to the nation.
We have bastardized our values. The value system that made yesteryears what Nigeria was have collapsed. And I said it that for us to have good image in Nigeria, and of course change our image, overseas, all Nigerians, both abroad and in, must take a conscious effort to have a value orientation.
The chairman, Committee for Defense of Human Rights, Yinka Folari, said the rights of all are being trampled on, and the need for all and sundry to join hands towards rebuilding the country's image looks elusive.
We don't respect the rights of the people, even the global, the fundamental rights of, we don't respect those rights. And in the larger society outside, they see us as an unserious country, a country with opportunities but without value.
Others blamed government at all levels who have failed to do the needful until it degenerated into crisis.
We are the country that is synonymous with endemic corruption, and that has been there for God knows how many years now. We have a country that, you know, is rapidly disintegrating, really, in terms of peace and security. You know, you have a country that is synonymous with, you know, complete lack of cohesion in government. You know, you have government functionaries at different levels speaking from different perspectives and speaking from different sides of the mouth.
Nigeria needs to create positive image through culture, tourism, security, amongst others, in order for our image to be redeemed internationally. Bumi Adigun, OGTV News.
President Muhammadu Buhari has lauded the Republic of Chad for what it calls the effective security backup to Nigeria in the renewed battle against terrorism and insurgency. This is while receiving in audience Mr. Ahmed Umar Ahmed, a special envoy of President Idris Deby. President Buhari said the need for effective collaboration on security between Nigeria and her immediate neighbors informed his first trip to such countries immediately upon assumption of office in 2015. Nigeria, he said, needed to work together with her neighbors towards confronting the common enemy of peace, stability and sustainable development, as the people are not only the same but also share similar cultures. President Buhari wished the Republic of Chad best of luck in the forthcoming general elections coming up in April this year. The special envoy, Ahmed Umar Ahmed, had told President Buhari that he brought a solidarity message from President Deby on the security situation in Nigeria. The message, he said, also contains words of encouragement for Nigerian troops now working hard to end terrorism and insurgency in other parts of the country. Still to come, National Drug Law Enforcement Agency seizes biggest cache of cannabis weighing 1,292 kilograms in Ondo State. More news and reports shortly. Thank you for staying tuned to OGTV News. Niger State Governor Abubakar Sani Bello has attributed lack of adequate intelligence gathering as one of the reasons security has degenerated in some parts of the country. The governor, who stated this during a press briefing, however, reassures that the students and others in captivity will be rescued unarmed. Governor Abubakar Bello said government is interacting with stakeholders to ensure the safe return of the students and other abductees.
Make sure bring them back home safe. And that's exactly what we're going to do.
That movement of herders from one place to another is no longer viable because most of the cattle places have been converted to farms as a result of growing population. Hence, the need to inculcate herders to government policies and programs.
The village head, the ward head, should be able to know people within their domain. They should be able to alert us when they see suspected people within their domain.
The governor disclosed that as part of measures to provide solution to its censored security challenges facing the state, government is proposing to dialogue with all Fulanis across the state. Abubakar Bello, who acknowledged the state of dilapidated structure at Kagara Science College and other public boarding schools, attributed it to lack of maintenance culture by successive administrations in the state. He was, however, quick to add that efforts are on for the construction of perimeter fencing in all public boarding schools across the state. The Ministry of Power is to, beg your pardon, the Ogun State High Court has said the trial of civil actions will discontinue from 29th March 2021 until Friday 9th April 2021, with both days inclusive. A statement by the Chief Judge of the State, Honorable Justice Mosumola Dipeolu, indicated that normal court sittings will resume on Monday 12th April 2021. The statement added that during this period, criminal matters will be taken on and urgent civil matters will be heard only by leave of a judge on the application of both parties to the suit or the counsel. The Ministry of Power is to provide 6 million homes with solar power within the next 3 months. Making this known on Friday, Minister of State for Power, Mr. Godi Agba, while revalidating his All Progressives Congress membership, said President Muhammadu Buhari has given approval for the exercise to start, and beneficiaries will be given the opportunity to pick homes to be powered. The minister said apart from the solar power, more electricity projects will be executed across the country during the year. I was used the occasion to call on youth to take advantage of the ongoing registration and revalidation exercise of the party to join en masse, stating that the registration exercise is an ample opportunity for more people from the state to key into the vision of the party. He said Bekwara had no light for almost 6 years, but recently electricity has been restored to the area, and also in Obudu. The entire local government was in darkness for over 6 weeks, but just within 24 hours of his intervention, electricity was restored. The Federal High Court sitting in Ado-Ekiti has ordered the Ado-Ekiti Electricity Distribution Company to provide prepaid meters to all its consumers in the town. Justice Babs Kwewumi gave the order while delivering judgment in a suit on Friday in Ado-Ekiti. Dr. Ibukun Ogundipe, president of Ado-Ekiti Resident Consumers Association, and 4 others had instituted a suit against Ado-Ekiti Electricity Distribution Company, alleging outrageous billing and non-metering of consumers. Other relief by the plaintiffs include the order of the court to declare null and void the purported outrageous billing and withdrawal of Ado-Ekiti Electricity Distribution Company license by the Nigeria Electricity Regulation Commission, among others. 2 petitioners have been awarded 10 million naira each as compensation by the Lagos State Judicial Panel of Restitution and Inquiry set up to investigate cases of police brutality, especially involving officers of the now-defunct Special Anti-Robbery Squad. The 2 petitioners, Kudirat Obayomi and Hannah Olugbodi, were awarded the compensation on Friday. Olugbodi, a 35-year-old hairdresser, had on November 2020 narrated how she ended up on a crutch after her left leg was shattered by a stray bullet fired by some men of the disbanded Police Special Anti-Robbery Squad, who were attempting to arrest a young man with tattoos in June 2018 at the Ijesha-Tedo area of Lagos. She said the SARS operatives were at one Ogun City hotel to demand money for fuel when they saw the young man with tattoos among a group of persons watching a football match at the hotel. According to the petitioner, the owner of the hotel, one Abu, who usually gave the SARS operatives money, was not around to attend to them. She said the SARS operatives labeled the young man with tattoos a cyber fraudster. She said an attempt by the SARS operatives to arrest and take the boy away was resisted by the other boys, making the SARS operatives to resort to firing gunshots. Edo State Governor Godwin Obaseki is seeking the intervention of the presidency on the activities of illegal loggers in Edo Forest. He stated this after a brief meeting with the Chief of Staff to the President, Ibrahim Gambari, at the presidential villa. He said the activities of illegal loggers was affecting the wildlife in Edo State. He also disclosed that he got a positive response from the presidency on his request. Obaseki also clarified that his state will commercialize ranching being proposed by the Nigeria Governors Forum as a panacea to the incessant farmers and herders clashes. Operatives of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, Ondo State Command, have arrested 9 dealers of illicit drugs and seized from them 1,292 kilograms of cannabis sativa and its seeds. Announcing the huge seizure in a statement on Friday, the state commander of the anti-drug agency, Mr. Aruna Gagara, disclosed that out of the figure, 711.5 kg of cannabis seeds was recovered from a forest in Akure North local government area of the state. According to him, the seizure has thwarted the massive cultivation of an estimated 250 hectares of cannabis farmland in Ondo State. Some of the suspects arrested in connection to the seizure include Alex Moses, 35, Emmanuel, 28, Friday Effiong, 31, Emmanuel Akpan, 25, and David Friday, 19. The commander also said his operatives had earlier intercepted a vehicle loaded with 580 kg of the illicit drug along Owo Road. Gagara appreciated the chairman and chief executive of the NDLEA, General Buba Marwa, for motivating them to always go on the offensive against illicit drug traffickers and dealers. The Nigeria Police Force has appointed Mr. Friday Boka as the new Commissioner of Police, Rivers State Command. The command spokesperson, Namdi Omoni, disclosed this in a statement in Port Harcourt on Friday. Omoni said the new CP replaces the newly promoted Assistant Inspector General of Police, Joseph Mukan, who has been redeployed to Zone 8 headquarters as a zonal commander. He said Boka has a versatile personality with an impeccable track record in crime fighting and will be the command's 42nd Commissioner of Police. Prior to his appointment, Boka was the Commissioner of Police, Railway Command in Lagos. He also holds a Bachelor of Science degree in Political Science from the University of Nigeria, Nsukka, Enugu State. The Niger Police Command has arrested 15-year-old Samaki Azozo, a student of Government Science School, Izom, over alleged attempt to kidnap students of the school in Gurara local government area. Mr. Adam Usman, the State Commissioner of Police, who disclosed this to newsmen in Mina on Friday, said the suspect, an SS2 student of the school, wrote a letter and posted on the school notice board notifying staff and students about an intended kidnap in the school. He explained that the letter created tension among staff and students of the school. The commissioner said the suspect claimed that the letter was a ploy to close the school. Usman said armed security personnel had been deployed to the school to ensure the safety of staff and students. He added that the command had commenced investigations into the claim and appealed to the public to assist the command with useful information to combat banditry and kidnapping in the state. That leads us to glimpses. In spite of all the negative narratives about the Nigerian economy, there are still some positives inherent in the system, especially in the manufacturing sector. One of such is a company that is situated in Oderemo, Ogun State, Profos, manufacturers of mine-resistant ambush-protected vehicle named ARA Thunder. The location of the company is another confirmation of the serenity of Ogun State for different business concerns.
While the outside world's perception of Africa's most populous country has not always been overwhelmingly positive, there is plenty more to Nigeria than its unsavory associations. One of these is this company that makes tactical military weapons based in Oderemo, a quiet town in Ogun State.
Ogun State is the manufacturing hub of the nation. I'm actually an indigene here of Oderemo. So this is why we believe that we want to promote this state to the country, to show them what we can do here. With that also, I also believe, and here at Profos we also believe in hiring a lot of our indigenes here. We have some of the most talented people here in Oderemo, in Ogun State, even if we go as far as to Lagos. And Profos patronizes that.
Just recently, Chad Republic, a landlocked country in North Central Africa, visited this company to seal a deal with this company to manufacture a 100 units of the mine-resistant ambush-protected vehicle, which is named ARA, meaning thunder.
The Chad army, in fact the Chad president himself, actually saw Profos' vehicles that we were delivering to the Nigerian army, and they were really impressed by what we did, as well as trying to innovate and increase the capacity of Africa. So what Chad decided to do is that they decided to place an order for 100 MRAPs from Profos.
This is the yard of the company, and work has begun on the first set of 20, with finishing touches on them, and to be delivered as first batch to Chad Republic.
In batches of 20. So as you can see, 20, 20, 20, 20. After 5 batches, they have completed their order. These come in various specifications, whether it's the command vehicle, the troop carrier, the ambulance vehicle, as well as the recovery vehicle. These all come parts of their order of the 100.
400 horsepower electrical engine, this one. So this one is actually built specifically for the terrain. We also have multiple filters on it, so if you get bad fuel, it can easily filter out with no issue at all. So this is actually what we use for majority of our MRAPs. We also have different engines that we can put into the vehicle as well, but this is actually depending on what the client wants. So this one is actually the 400 that we've given to them.
From the ballistic sheet level 3, against 7.60 rounds and 12.7 rounds. Water gem machine, which cuts the material into the various sizes. Brick press machine, the 500 tons. This will bend the sheet to correct dimensions needed. And next to the jigs, where every part is welded together. This company, which has over 300 people on its payroll, some of them are seen working on the other gotten from the Chad Republic. Some have gotten to painting stage, while some are still at the welding stage. The most important part of this vehicle is the windshield, which is 90 millimeters strong. The tire is specially made for the company, and the engine, all imported from abroad. The company also makes ballistic helmets, bulletproof vests, and they also repair security vehicles. Interestingly, it will take 4 months to produce one mine-resistant ambush-protected vehicle, and you could imagine how many months it will take for 100. Apart from the windshield, the tires, the engine that are imported, other components of this vehicle are produced locally. This no doubt creates multiplier effects on the economy. And for being located in Enugu State, this company attests to the fact that the Gateway State remains the capital of industries in Nigeria, with a conducive environment for businesses.
Many thanks to Bumi Adigun for giving us an insight into Profas, manufacturers of mine-resistant ambush-protected vehicle. And you will agree with me that Ogun State is indeed truly blessed. From glimpses, we move to the business segment of the news. Federation Accounts Allocation Committee shares 640.31 billion naira to the 3 tiers of government for January 2021. More on the business segment of the news. The Federation Accounts Allocation Committee at its virtual meeting shared 640.31 billion naira as Federation allocation for January 2021 to the 3 tiers of government. From this amount, the federal government received over 200 billion naira, states received over 100 billion naira, while the local government councils got over 130 billion naira. The oil-producing states received 26.777 billion naira as derivation, that is 13% of mineral revenue, and cost of collection, transfer, and refunds got 76.966 billion naira. The communique issued at the end of the meeting indicated that the gross revenue available from the value-added tax for January 2021 was 157.351 billion naira. This was against the 171.358 billion naira distributed in the preceding month of December 2020, resulting in a decrease of 14.7 billion naira. It stated that the balance in the excess crude account as of February 18, 2021 stood at $72.412 million. The Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC, said it had not affected any increase in the ex-depot price of premium motor spirit, and as such, the pump price of the commodity had not been hiked. But on the other hand, all marketers who dispense the product at the pump stated that, while NNPC claimed not to have increased ex-depot price, private depot owners had increased their prices. This, they said, had led to the rise in the pump price of petrol in some filling stations, adding that the cost of the commodity will definitely rise in other outlets in the coming days. Meanwhile, it was observed that queues of motorists surfaced in some filling stations. The number of idle power plants on the national grid rose to 11 a day after a system collapse that plunged parts of the country into a blackout. The country's power grid collapsed on Wednesday for the first time this year. Total power generation fell to 4,660.60 megawatts from 4,499.90 megawatts on Wednesday, as 2 more plants, namely Afam 4 and 5 and Sapele 1, were shut down. According to the Nigerian Electricity System Operator, 11 power plants did not produce electricity as of Thursday, compared to 9 that were idle the previous day. The power sector lost an estimated 903 billion naira on February 14 due to constraints from insufficient gas supply distribution, infrastructure, and transmission infrastructure. Power distribution companies that reject electricity load due to constraints in their networks will now have to pay for the capacity charge of the rejected energy, the Nigerian Electricity Regulation Commission has said. On several occasions, power generation and transmission companies had complained that DISCOs were in the habit of rejecting electricity allocated to them for onward distribution to power users. Also, the Minister of Power, Salim Aman, had condemned the practice. To address this, the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission, in its guidelines for implementation of economic merit order dispatch and other related matters, stated that going forward, any DISCO found wanton in this matter will have to pay. We have come to the end of the business segment of the news. It's time to bring you the world today. Heavy gunfire breaks out in Somalia's capital. Heavy gunfires have broken out in Somalia's capital as opposition leaders defied a ban on public gatherings to protest